I need a motion to open the first item.
Motion to open number 1, continuing the hearing on Freeman Street Trust.
A second to that?
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Samarco, for introducing that. For the members of the public watching this broadcast, the first item on our agenda this evening is a continued public hearing on the petition of Freeman Street Trust, represented by Attorney Barry R. Crimmins, for a special permit under the Stoughton Center Mixed Use Overlay District, also known as the SHMOOD, in order to construct 21 residential dwelling units located over mixed-use retail, office, restaurant space, all located at 760 to 770 Washington Street, further identified on Assessor's Plan number 54, Lot 285. And I address the board's attention to the piece of correspondence from Mr. Crimmins on behalf of his client, requesting a continuance of this hearing on this subject to January 22nd, 2015.
Make a motion to accept the request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Noreen, you'll notify the Mr. Crimmins of the continued public hearing on January 22nd, and we need to establish a time for that.
Did you want to establish a time now?
Yes,
Okay.
for members of the public that are watching.
Mhm.
7 o'clock,
Okay, January 22nd, 7 o'clock.
yes.
I will notify Mr. Crimmins.
Thank you,
Continued hearing for Washington and Freeman Street.
Yes.
Motion to open Form A.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is a Form A&R for property located on map 76, lots 80, 81, 82, and 83, on Park Street and 4th Street. Applicant is Mr. Schaff, is it? Attorney?
I'm the attorney right across the street.
Okay. And so proceed on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you very much. What you have here is a simple A&R plan. Let me just shut my phone off just in case. I apologize.
Yeah, that's true.
And is everybody looking at the A&R plan, or do you want me to just talk about it? Does everybody have copies?
Not yet.
Would you like me to wait till that passed out? So everybody will know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Let me just wait for that to happen.
Mr. Tisdale, we have a report from you, just out of curiosity. Do you have any comments about the plan that's being submitted?
No, the plan was pretty straightforward, Joe. It met all the requirements of the Form A and the subdivision regs. It's essentially the plan's cleaning up the property line issues that exist in that area.
Noreen, do you have any comments? You're not on the mic. I'll wait till you get back to your seat.
The town engineer, Mark, in the planning department, and myself, we had looked at the plan and reviewed it, and we didn't see any infractions on that Form A&R.
Any leftover raincoats?
You remember that?
Oh, yeah, well, I still
What
have it.
specifically are you doing?
So I can explain it. What may be more instructive is this is the way it used to look. And I don't know how much you can see, but it was very badly configured. So if I could just show you. What happened is Mr. Ostrander, the old man, who I believe is deceased, had 4 parcels. And he, in a haphazard fashion, built on all 4 parcels, but created encroachments when he was building. He went over lot lines. He treated it all as one big parcel. So the way it used to look is back here, some of you may recognize, that's where the art center is. And Elaine Ostrander, his daughter, is still very much an artsy person and goes to functions. She's on the Cape, but she's also here. And then there's this separate parcel over at 5th and Park Street. And all that is a parking area, which services the art center. And then there's 2 other residential parcels. And the way it was originally designed, this art center, there's a piece that you may all be able to see that comes down in between the 2 residential parcels. It was badly configured because you don't need this piece here. It's like a dog leg, almost to give frontage on Park, but you never needed frontage on Park because you have frontage on 4th Street. So what happened was, when they went to sell these parcels, because they had a buyer for one of the parcels, they realized that almost every parcel had an encroachment. So for instance, Walter Parsley, who you may know, lives right here. He's a tenant there. Except his garage was on the Philos parcel. It flopped over into this no man's land dogleg. Also, Elaine Ostrander, the grandchildren, if you will, of the man who used to own it.
Mr. Fields?
Yeah,
Anthony?
Anthony Philos, thank you. Anthony Philos, his grandchildren live here. They have an encroachment going into this no man's land as well. So this no man's land that came down, that was part of the Philos Art Center, had 2 encroachments on it. When Elaine came to me, I said, we can do this better, and we can arrange these in a more logical fashion, and that's all I've done here. So if you look at the plan, I'll explain what I did. So the first thing I did, and this is the most simple thing, is if you look all the way on the right, you'll see that that's the parking area. It's at the corner of Park and 5th. All I did was I took away the lot line because it services the Philos Art Center. So it makes absolutely no sense to get 2 tax bills. It's just 1 parcel. That's how it's used, as a singular parcel. And they may save a little money, I don't know, but it made sense to make this 1 taxable parcel. So all I did, you can see the dotted line between Lot 80 and Lot 83. I created a singular parcel because all that's here is parking. It'll never be buildable. It's not like it can ever be buildable. You need 80,000 square feet. I shut off the lot line and I made it 1 parcel. I then realized that if I got rid of the dogleg, remember I told you about that dogleg that comes down? I got rid of it because it was the only way to solve the encroachment problem. If you look, you can see where the former lot lines were because they're dashed. You see the former dashed lot lines? One went through Walter Parsley's garage, the other went through a shed. So that nothing could be sold because there were encroachments everywhere. All I did was I shut off the dogleg because you don't need it because you've got frontage along 4th Street. And this big parcel I created is more conforming now because it has more acreage. I made the other 2 residential pieces bigger, making them more conforming. Not only that, I got rid of the encroachment for the shed, I got rid of the encroachment for the garage, and what you don't see here, but you see it right away, there's 2 curb cuts. Now, each residential property has a curb cut. So it makes perfect sense, and all we did was make each one of these parcels more conforming. When I went over it with Tom McGrath, he said, no problem. He says it makes more sense, and that's what we did. We made it make more sense, so now they can sell these things, because if they tried to sell anything, the answer would be no, because the plot plan would have immediately shown an encroachment.
Mr. Smarco?
Does the engineering department have a problem on any of this?
No, I think it's a good plan.
Good. All right, so I make a motion that we accept it.
Second.
I have one question before we do that. You said the current owner, there's 2 owners on this plan.
No, there's many owners.
3, okay.
I think you'll see 4 or 5.
The parcel that's the Philos Art Center, is it Elaine in her own name, or is she, does she have any nominee status?
No, she owns it in her own name.
She was a Philos.
And just to let you know, that's also a bit of a disaster. After this is approved, I'm going to clean up this because, you know, usually an art center should be in a nominee or an LLC, but she owns all this in her own name.
Okay. Okay.
So my next, if you will approve this tonight, I'm going to clean up the ownership because it's, you know, in disarray.
How old is she now?
Elaine, well, when she hired me, she decided to have me and my wife over for dinner that night. So I spent some time with her. I want to say she's in her mid-60s. Am I guessing that? I think around her mid-60s.
I used to coach baseball.
And she's incredibly active. If you ever to go to the Cape, she has art shows galore. Very sweet people. Her husband and she are just incredibly generous. And they have these art shows, and I got to see a lot of her art when I was at her house.
Did you take a
No, not yet. Michael, you want to make the motion?
I made the motion that we accept the plan.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Abstentions, oppositions, hearing none. Unanimously passed.
Wow, it's the first time I've ever,
Doing that. I'm sure the neighbors and everybody appreciates
When you see her, say Mike Samaco said the same guy.
I will. Mike Samakos?
Samaco.
Samako. Gotcha. I will do it, and I'm going to record this plan.
Okay, I'd like you to sign,
We go way back.
Yeah?
I'd like you to sign these, put your name and the date that you took the Mylar with you.
I'm going to take it with me. Sign my name and the date,
And the date, and today's date, yes.
which is 12,
11.
11, 14. Again? 12, 11,
And would you
14.
print your name under that
Right,
for me?
because what does that mean, right?
In both areas?
Yeah.
Here you go, Mr. Samarco.
Right, I know.
Thank you.
Correct.
You keep one and I keep one, okay?
I would like to keep one, thank you.
Okay, so you have a copy of that? Plans tonight?
Okay, we just signed one.
Because we don't have any staff downstairs to run a copy, so we can use two of the prints. Okay.
Oh, there it is. And when you go through the buildings, if there's any baseball equipment, make sure I get it back.
You get it back? Okay,
Because he used to coach.
right. Well, they told me that everybody from town used to buy raincoats there. I said, he just manufactured them there? He said, that's the way it used to be. Everybody manufactured something. Now no one manufactures anything. Also said the business was there for over 50 years.
Yeah. Two paper copies. You sign one, okay?
Philos is an Italian name? I thought it has to end in a vowel.
I just need to take this mic.
Is it done?
Yes.
Yeah, send it up. We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
The cap is right here.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. Is that what I should have?
Yes.
You actually only need 3.
Okay, correct. So I've got 4.
You got 4?
I'm good to go?
You're good to
Thank you so much for making this so easy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Does it come with a lollipop, or you don't get those?
Yeah, take one.
I was only kidding.
No, take one, because it's gonna cost you when I see you later.
Well, I want the but I want the chocolate one.
Did you sign this, Mike? The
No.
paper for me? Did you sign that? For the file?
Yeah, we
I just
signed,
gave you a pen, that red one.
No, a regular pen.
I think we ended up signing 3 here.
Have a nice evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Is this your pen? No, I just need 2 paper copies of the
Well,
file.
Here you go.
Okay, I'll initial.
Motion open general business. Do you
Who's not
have any
on
updates
Second.
on master plan?
Now, we have another Form A?
Yes.
Okay. We have,
Where's the hotel guy?
Would
Oh,
you
there
already
he is.
start?
Yeah, we're not, we're not waiting.
okay, excuse
Well, the
me.
meeting's probably not legal
Excuse me.
anyway.
Excuse me, we're on cable, okay?
What's that?
We're on cable.
Oh, did
Oh, you
you?
did, right there.
Who am I missing? Mike.
Wow.
Mike. Go ahead. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well,
Doesn't matter where it
Who's sitting
is.
here?
You, that's I say.
Whose thing is this?
Yeah.
Noreen, did you say we have another,
Yes.
A&R?
Yes.
yes, we do.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
It's not on the agenda because an A and R can be brought in the day of.
That's fine.
Yeah. I just want to finish this off. Okay, thank you.
You ain't that I missed?
No, this is another one.
Is Central Street coming up?
He wants to, that'll keep it quiet.
Motion open the A&R on 445 Central Street?
No,
No? No.
no, that's our decision.
Put your mics on.
Wait,
Why it's not on your agenda?
Okay.
doesn't have to be
Yep, that's fine.
under the open meeting law.
Oh, Carson. Resurrected.
No, I wasn't. I've heard.
Oh my God. For the record. For the record, we know that name is there, but that's how
Charlie Woodward. Presenting his proposal to create an A&R lot down on Carson Drive. Just to briefly explain to you what's going on. The parcel in the front is an old grandfathered pre-existing lot. I'm sorry. The grandfathered lot is a pre-existing lot on the front, okay? That met the requirements for the building department as a lot. But when we put the house 35 feet off the street, we really had no backyard. We could in fact go to the Board of Appeals, but at the same time, ironically enough, this back piece of property was owned by the town and went up for auction. So they bought that piece from the town, okay? And now basically what we're doing is combining both lots to make one buildable lot, okay? The lot.
Lot one you're trying to do?
Yes, just
The lot
one lot for one house, okay? The lot now contains a total frontage and 542.55 feet of frontage, 1.622 acres of area, and 1.21 acres of contiguous upland. So we're making things much better than they were down here. We've been through the Conservation Commission, we've been working with Mr. Conlon and the board to satisfy the wetland issues, and we were actually on the agenda for the 18th, at which time we had a review letter that led us to believe that we had satisfied all of their concerns, but they canceled the meeting of the 18th. So that's where we stand with everybody and everything.
So what piece did you buy from the town?
The back piece, okay, where all of the printing is.
The dotted line.
And actually that day, 5 pieces were up for auction, and this is the only piece that ended up selling that day for various reasons, whether it be bad bids, bad titles, or whatever. So that was and I actually went to the auction with the client.
So what do you intend to set the house right in the middle, which is lot one there, right in there,
Actually,
that area?
Actually, because of the wetlands and because of your conservation bylaws, not being able to build within 75 feet of a wetland, the only area we had to put the house was right here in this area. And believe it or not, we fit that barely, okay, by a foot here and a foot there.
So you're still 35 feet off the front line of the
Yes,
house?
sir. We're going to be meeting all of the setback and sideline requirements.
Just a question.
Sure.
What's the square footage for that house?
The house itself, the proposed house is going to be 28 feet wide and 34 feet long, colonial. So it's a relatively small house for such a large lot, okay? But again, like I said, our restrictions are your conservation rules and
75,
regulations.
yeah, I understand that.
And just for your information, that's a development that
Back street.
that got relief from when the subdivision approvals of the lots, the normal lots are a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
My question is, and there's already been a chosen builder for this particular house?
Yes. That is, Mr. Macy is in fact the builder.
Okay.
Are we all set? Do you see anything else wrong with this plan?
No, I mean, the plan conforms to all the Form A requirements that the town has. It's pretty straightforward. I do have one question for you,
Sure.
though, on the drain easement. Is that
I was just going to mention that.
okay?
Okay, but once you ask your question.
Okay.
if you
Now,
have a question, I'm gonna answer.
is it a proposed drain easement, or is it an existing drain easement?
It's a proposed drainage easement. The Conservation Commission asked us to put that there because there is a pre-existing pipe that comes from this isolated area of wetland here, okay, and drains into the catch basin or manhole in the front. So we spoke to the the applicant, and they have no problem with that. So when this plan is recorded, that drainage easement will be intact
Looked in on the deed,
on the deed.
be a town of Stoughton.
Yes,
easement.
sir, it will.
So you're all set with it?
Yeah, I'm
Make a
fine.
motion that we accept this plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, no, we can move it, no.
Well, where's the hotel guy? Is there a set time that he's supposed to be here?
No, it's just a decision this evening, Michael.
Well, can we
Yes.
make the decision?
Joe has the marker.
Yep.
Usually send them downstairs.
Now motion to open general business, or is it
Yes.
a?
Old business.
Old business.
Old business.
Okay.
Second.
Motion to open up old business.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The first item is the decision on the Old Colony YMCA project. It's in your
In your
packet in front of you.
I didn't get a packet.
Noreen, we need one more for Mr. Angelus.
Yeah, we can share it. We'll save some money.
Thanks again.
Take care,
Night.
thank you.
Good night.
Town hall's.
What are you doing first, a what?
The one, yes, Mr. Angelus needs a copy.
Yep.
Doesn't have any. Give everybody a few minutes to take a look at this.
No, I don't. You didn't get a copy of this,
Don't worry about it.
There's two separate decisions there.
man. Oh.
This is the other decision, this is Page Street. Okay, so we're looking at the Y decision now.
Oh, that's fairly straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Within your own building.
Yeah.
I wasn't here, so I can't talk about it.
It's all right, you can abstain on this one.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I'm always there, so.
Just to refresh everybody's recollection, what the YMCA is doing is it's taking and building in its courtyard, so that's one part of the expansion. They're also taking down some outbuildings and extending their parking lot. That's why, for example, there is some fairly strict time parameters for the construction, because it is a budding neighborhood. They're going to be doing paving, and they did demolition. It's the structures have already been demolished, but they will be doing construction in a zone where there is neighborhood, there is residential structure. So there is a provision in there about confining their construction to specific times. Yes, Mr.
My question is, we told, are they gonna be planting trees in that area where they're supposed to?
Yeah, they had a landscaping plan that was provided as part of that. The only issue that was up for, was they had a series of plantings inside the courtyard that they're relocating on the premises. There are probably a dozen of those trees, if not more.
Well, yeah, well, weren't they gonna take the interior courtyard out or something? or
Yes.
use that as indoor space?
Right, and they're taking, there actually is plantings there, and they're they're
Replanting those?
transplanting, I think that's the
Yeah.
correct
And
term.
one of the complaints by the neighbors, you can see everything there, and it's supposed to set a lot of trees up in the area. So, saying 10 years or 15 years, whatever, it should be able to block everything. Are they gonna be doing that?
That was in the landscaping plan.
Yeah, all right, just wanna make sure they're doing it, because the neighbors did speak.
Yes, and because of the neighborhood, we do have the provisions in here about the construction hours.
Right.
Motion to accept the findings and decisions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? One abstention.
Which
Okay.
one needs to be signed? Anyone?
You know what, two of them need to be signed, so why don't you start one and then Joe? And the rest of them, don't sign them. I only need two to file with the town, I need one to file with the town clerk.
What's next on the agenda? All right, we can still talk.
Okay, I'll go this way with this.
You go to the right, she can go to the right.
Well, I just wanted one set of, at least, you don't have to initial each page. You can do what you want. I just have a reason for doing that.
Sign, Joe likes to sign each page.
One they should be a set of initials. So at least it's optional for everybody else.
Oh, I don't have to sign it.
No, you don't have to initial each page. That's just a legal reason so that nobody can change the pages, the content of the decision.
Are they gonna have their Christmas party? The Christmas party? Yeah.
Not that we know.
I don't know.
Really? We used to have a Christmas party here.
Didn't have one last year,
You didn't have one?
the year before.
Who's Grinch? What's going on here?
The year before.
So you working a full day, the 24th?
No.
1 o'clock,
What time?
1 o'clock.
Have you decided if people are coming in on Friday? What happened with that, do you know?
I'll be here.
Friday, the next day?
I won't be here.
That's the signed copy, the initial. Just initial, we both initialed that.
Okay.
I didn't want to do the same, we just
Yep.
have to sign this one.
Yep, this one goes this way. The plan?
So you are coming in on Friday?
Noreen will be in.
Well, town hall's gonna be open, obviously.
Yes,
As far as I know, yeah.
So have you started
Yeah, but I
interviewing
don't
for your
know if
city
I
engineer?
No.
Is that what the Board of Selectmen decided
So I
to
just
do?
have to know,
at
yeah, it's
at
gonna
the other
say-
meeting?
Can you sign it?
Oh, we not though.
Gotta have a
Thanks,
professional
all.
engineer.
You got two signatures,
Have your,
Joe and yours.
Degree in civil engineering.
Do I have to sign? I don't care.
Got a degree in China?
Oh, I see where you're going with this now. Gotcha. I gotcha. Sometimes I'm
It's okay, Mark.
You don't have to sign each page. You just have to
No.
sign.
No, just a signature.
Right.
Yeah.
And just make sure that I sign the,
I'm sure you do.
No, it's just a-
I get signed out
Hey,
too?
it's vacation for some of
Same
us.
as this, Noreen?
Yeah, you already signed it. You already signed it.
It's
just want to make sure that, no.
You need to sign the very last page, Joe.
Yep, I just realized that this, that was the one I did. Okay.
So,
That's it?
You already signed this. Okay, you did this last page.
can I get this straight, Noreen? The Board of Selectmen want everybody here on the town hall open on Friday. Normally it was closed, but now they want it open.
As far as I know.
I'll come in Friday to make
It's a good position. I mean, it's a good job to have.
437, 438, decision.
A second to that motion, please?
Back, over the motion,
To open up 437, 439 Page Street decision.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This is the hotel on Page Street. And this has been heavily documented because of the construction constraints of the challenging site, topography.
Who?
I said this is heavily documented because of the challenging nature of the site that the hotel is going on.
Oh, I see.
That's why it's a fairly lengthy decision. It also has the provision for the electric charging station, as well as the provision that the project manager has graciously extended the use of the conference facility to any board or commission or committee pertaining to the town and departments thereof on an as available basis at no cost to the
Availability.
town for that facility. So that's also in the decision.
That's,
Very generous.
yeah.
I have a question, may I ask?
But
We should be able to use the facility, am I correct?
that's what he said, yep.
No,
If it's not being used by somebody else.
I heard rumors that the church may be closing their kitchen downstairs. And
There's no kitchen there. It's a,
Just a functional,
they got a kitchen in the hotel, am I right?
well, I
they're
don't,
having a breakfast. I believe what it is it's an express breakfast. So they'll have they'll have a sink and they'll have outlets for waffle makers. But they're not going to be making scrambled eggs there.
In other words, they don't have a real kitchen.
no.
I hear Kelly's moving there. What do you think? Just kidding.
Kelly's?
No.
Where, from,
No, it-
Question with the decision? It's pretty straightforward. We've
Is-
gone through everything.
Yes.
Motion to accept the findings and the decision.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
aye, aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Right?
Motion to adjourn.
When?
I was on vacation. I was working.
What do you mean, we have more?
Michael.
Should have been a half
I
an
see
hour
from
meeting.
lines. Had to.
Just put it right there. I'll sign it in a minute. Get that back to Lynn.
Yes.
Is anyone else working in the town hall tonight?
Yeah.
I feel lonely.
The clerk's offices, everybody's here until 7 o'clock.
I don't hear a sound.
Well, you know, they're very quiet. You.
Sign it.
Do we have any business after the signatures?
They
The
can-
future meeting is January 22nd, is the one before that?
I'll be in Florida. I'll be in Florida in the month of January.
That's good.
Any other business?
Monkey business.
Just comment on the master plan met last night, and we're finalizing the economic development component. We met with the consultant, and he made substantial progress towards the completion of that segment of the master plan. So we should be seeing a final document soon.
What plan did you guys,
Economic development component.
so what kind of a plan is it? I know it's economic.
No, it's part of the master plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, wow.
I mean, we're done.
Point the dial, everyone. Stay healthy.